me a case on the news. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, son. Hey, lady. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
First carry for James Conner. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Back to throw, Darnold into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run. Devontae Freeman looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
18. Bravo.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Travis Kelce, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. From the gun, a give to Penny. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Check, 40. Red 80. Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Red 80. Check 3, check 3.
Darnold on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Darnold down to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 20-yard line. Penny, a 1st down carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Needs something for deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, week, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. T.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Watch out.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking here for Smith downfield. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Returnable for Grant. Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Mike 42, 6'6", bullet high. Check nickel. Switch. Hey, you got to get moving, man. Man moving. You got to get that.
And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back them up halfway. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. This is Freeman. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here comes Grant on the return. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Darnold from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Freeman. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Darnold. Looking left sideline, it's complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On 1st down, Darnold. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. from 19 yards away. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Running right, this is Freeman. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. Now Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they'll have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And he's going to take this all the way down to the 40-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I'm coming for you, Mom.
This time, Trubisky will throw. Steps away to his left. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. And this play was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On first down, Jefferson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
12 more yards there and another first down. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you...
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. Tavecchio to add the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football.
You ain't going nowhere.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Freeman again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's coming. He's coming. Alert. Jim, hey, 18.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. To throw again on 2nd down. Darnold. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Going up top. He's got a man. Complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, 89 yards. And the Steelers have once again taken the lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Rashad Penny, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point put through by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey, but now it's 3rd down.
And 7 yards to go.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go again.
Now Kaiser on 4th down. And he's going to go down again. T.J. Watt. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
We're pretty quiet, Dean. We're pretty quiet. Check 50. Check 50.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Share.
They'll toss it to Penny. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Donald. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they settled for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Kaiser from the gun on third. And he comes back with one complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Oh, you got deep? Tight is Ringo. Tight is on Ringo. Run it. Alone. 3 down.
First down, Kaiser. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Kaiser. And he will find his man on the outside. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The play fake, and it's Darnold. He lets this one fly toward the back and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Snags it for the pick. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Following the interception, Kaiser. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 28 yards. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back.
Kaiser can't get away, and he'll go down. Devin Bush able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No.
And the pressure gets to him again. Devin Bush in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. They'll throw here. Kaiser. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there. Second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now it's Darnold. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final two plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there. 85 yards. As his guys are back within a single score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Room here to run. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Again, it's Penny. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. But, Charles, a 1-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that 1-score game. We all knew what was coming, the Hail Mary. They just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So for the Steelers, they pick up win number 4 on the campaign as they emerge victorious here. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin.